Good morning and welcome to Football League World TV. My name is Ned Holmes and this is the Football League World Fans Championship Player of the Month nominees show for April. I'm joined by my colleague Adam Jones to reflect on the six standout players in the second tier and really why they got nominated for the award. How are you doing this morning, Adam?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. I'm quite sad actually that the regular championship season is over, but I'm looking forward to the playoffs and I'm looking forward to looking back as well at some of the best performers of April.
Absolutely. As you say, the championship regular season done now, and April was a formative month. Really, the races at both ends of the table nearing their conclusions. And as I said at the top of the show, six of the standout players nominated for the Football League World Fans Championship Player of the Month award for April. The vote is now open. You've got until 9 a.m. tomorrow to cast your vote. To vote, simply click the link in the description below if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, or head to footballleagueworld.co.uk/fan-awards. Before we get started then as well, just a reminder, please don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube, retweet on Twitter and share on Facebook, because it will be huge in helping us grow. Well, I'll just rattle through the shortlist then, Adam, and we'll get stuck in sort of player by player. It's Huddersfield defender Harry Toffolo, Millwall defender Murray Wallace, Bristol City midfielder Andy Vyman, Fulham striker Alexandra Mitrovic, Swansea forward Joel Perrault, and Nottingham Forest forward Sam Surridge. Adam, let's start with Harry Toffolo at Huddersfield then. 4 goals and also 3 clean sheets for the left wing back. Just been so key to Huddersfield's success up and down that left flank, hasn't he?
Yeah, both defensively and going forward, he's been absolutely, superb, really. I particularly liked his goal, actually, against Barnsley. Obviously, it's one of the goals that, sent Barnsley down, which is an unfortunate one. But absolutely crucial for the Terriers. I mean, getting in kind of on the back post. I mean, I guess it was schoolboy defending, really, from the Tykes, but still to be in that position, at the right place at the right time, making that run at the right time as well. It just sums up his performances, really. He's been absolutely superb. I think the left wing back role, I think, suits him very well. I think you can tell that he benefits from having the license to go forward. You kind of get the best of both worlds out of him, really, in terms of defensively and offensively. And I think this season for him has been particularly impressive because he has the baggage of being with a side that finished in 20th last season, unlike the likes of, Tom Lees and obviously, Levi Colwill as well, who came in last summer. So, that's been one of the more impressive factors, really. As you said, the defence has been fantastic as well. Part of a side that's conceded just 47 goals in 46 league games, and at 26 he's only going to get better. So it'll be no surprise that to kind of see him play in the Premier League next season, whether it's with Huddersfield or not.
Absolutely, you're saying a really impressive April for Harry Toffolo, and Huddersfield fans will be hoping he can carry that form into May and the playoffs, of course. If you think he deserves to be named the Football League World Fans Championship Player of the Month for April, head to footballleagueworld.co.uk/fan-awards to cast your vote, or click the link in the description below. You've got until 9 a.m. tomorrow. The second defender on our list then, Adam, and someone that's also been used at left wing back a bit this year, but I guess perhaps more on the defensive side, it is Millwall's Murray Wallace, a mountain for them, really. This season in April was no different. I mean, 24 tackles and 21 aerial duels won. He's just been so reliable for them, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's been part of a commanding defence, really, which has kind of had superiority both kind of on the floor and in the air as well. And he's going forward as well. This season, just in general, he's contributed, I think, 6 goals in all competitions to the cause, and it just shows you really how good he is, kind of aerially and kind of going forward as an attacking threat as well. He's an asset, I think, that Gary Rowett should be kind of looking to tie down, as soon as possible. He's reliable, he's solid, and for a side that don't really spend a huge amount of money, kind of in the transfer windows, they spend quite a low amount. I think they should be looking to get a player of his quality kind of tied down and should be looking to retain him. And I think it'll be particularly interesting to see him in action next season, really, if he stays at the Den, because he could be particularly important, especially with the likes of Jeb Wallace and Benik, both likely to go. Obviously, Afobe back to his parent club, and Jeb Wallace, I think, is pretty much all but confirmed now that he'll be moving on really at the end of the season. So he could be, particularly important next season. It'll be interesting to see what his attacking record is like next season without kind of the service of Jeb Wallace. But yeah, I mean, in terms of his defensive work, and the most important thing really is his defensive work. I think he's been absolutely superb. Just there's a real unit kind of in there as well, and it's given Millwall a real chance, or gave him a real chance of being in the playoffs. So yeah, he should receive a lot of credit, not just this month, but not just last month, but for the whole season as well.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, sort of part of that solid Millwall backline, and often someone that perhaps didn't used to get the credit with the likes of Jake Cooper and Sean Hutchinson getting the plaudits, but player of the season there, and actually I believe tied down to a new contract in February maybe, so they're certainly going to be keeping him around. And Millwall fans, if you believe Murray Wallace deserves to be named the Football League World fans Championship Player of the Month for April, head to footballleagueworld.co.uk/fan-awards. Click the link in the description. You've got until 9 a.m. tomorrow to cast your vote. We move into the midfielders then, and obviously Andy Vyman, we know him mostly as a forward, but he's been playing in sort of that attacking midfield role really. 4 goals and an assist, Adam, in April, to really sort of put the exclamation mark on what's been a brilliant season, really, considering he was bouncing back from that ACL injury.
Yeah, he's been absolutely superb. Nothing short of magnificent, really. And I think a lot of credit also has to go to Bristol City as well, because I think he was out of contract last summer and they handed him a new 3-year deal off the back of that ACL injury that can usually ruin players' careers. So the fact that they put their faith in him, it's been rewarded, and they have to receive credit as well, the club, for that as well, for tying him down. And thank God they did, because he's been such a crucial asset for them this season. He's been incredibly versatile as well. It's not just his goals that have been superb and valuable to the cause; it's his versatility as well. Playing as a on the wing, as a wing back, in an advanced midfield position. And up front as well, it just goes to show you really how valuable he is to the whole team, and that he can, really fill in kind of anywhere, really. So, 32 goal scoring contributions this season. It's just brilliant, really. I know that his season has probably been overshadowed by the likes of Mitrovic and Solanke, but he's been, just as good, really, in terms of helping a struggling side to kind of get themselves firmly away, really, from the relegation zone. And they should be looking to retain him for the long term, really. I think Bristol City had kind of I think it was the 3rd worst defence in the league, kind of during the 2021-22 campaign. Their defence wasn't good at all. So that just really shows you really how valuable he's been to the cause, and he should receive a lot of credit for his performances over the whole season.
Absolutely, and helped Bristol City certainly finish April really strongly. So you've got until 9 a.m. tomorrow, of course, to cast your vote. You can click the link in the description below, or go to the website, which is just going across the ticker now. Well, we move into the strikers then, and we'll start with rather a player you were talking about then, Fulham's Alexandra Mitrovic. 8 goals and 13 key passes in a really remarkable month of April for Mitrovic. Obviously, this has been a sort of record-breaking season, but Fulham, they had a few wobbles really in April. I know his goals were really just vital in keeping them on track towards that Championship title, weren't they?
Yeah, he's been absolutely crucial with his consistency. I mean, when we're talking about a goal drought, about a striker, not scoring in 2 or 3 games, he's good. So he hasn't gone, I think, more than 3 or 4 games without scoring a goal really this season. So, definitely in the ones that he's played in anyway. So, fantastic, really, just how consistent that he's been. I think he's scored 43 league goals. I think beat Guy Whittingham's record, which is absolutely superb. Has been involved in, I think, nearly 50% really of Fulham's goals in terms of goals or assists. So that just goes to show you really how much of a crucial asset he's been, and especially recently as well. They could have easily suffered a real wobble and kind of in terms of promotion, and kind of taken it down to the final couple of weeks or whatever. But he has played his full part in making sure that they seal promotion quite early, and I think that will have a massive impact as well over the summer. I mean, that getting promotion done will allow them to ramp up preparations in terms of transfers for the summer. So that impact of Mitrovic can't be kind of underestimated really for the long term, because that long term planning and that extra preparation that they put in could make all the difference next season in terms of remaining afloat. So he's been absolutely crucial really to the cause, and I just hope that he has a successful season in the Premier League next term. I think that he's shown that he hasn't gone missing really in vital games, especially in April. Getting the winner against Middlesbrough, scoring a brace against Preston when they clinched promotion, and getting a goal as well in a draw against Bournemouth as well, in a real high quality kind of clash between the top two sides. So it just goes to show you really that I think that he can step up to the plate next season. And but looking back, he's been as you say, absolutely crucial with his consistency. And I'm running out of words to say about him because he's just been so superb.
Yeah, it certainly does seem like someone we've spoken about a fair bit on the Championship Fan Awards shows this season. I'm sure we'll be talking about him when we come to the Player of the Year award. So if you think Alexandra Mitrovic deserves to be named the Football League World Fans Championship Player of the Month for April after 8 goals and 13 key passes in 7 games, then head to the link in the description or go to footballleagueworld.co.uk/fan-awards to cast your vote. Swansea City's Joel Perrault is the next on our list. 7 goals and 2 assists for the Dutchman. Things finally clicking, really, Adam, you'd say, in April. And we always knew that Russell Martin's sort of possession-heavy type of style of play was going to take a little while. But Joel Perrault's been scoring goals throughout, really. And April was a particularly impressive month for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's kind of, I shouldn't really be surprised really at how well he's done, because it's in the Dutch DNA really to play really, passing, attractive football. So perhaps I shouldn't be surprised, but this is his first season in English football, and or Welsh football, shall I say, UK football. And he was tasked with replacing Andre Ayew as well, and obviously Jamal Lowe, who left later on in the window. So he had a massive task on his hands actually throughout the entire season, as well as Michael Obafemi not really being at it really in the early stages of the season. So Russell Martin should be thanking his lucky stars really that he's had Perrault at his disposal, being so crucial really to the cause throughout the entire season. But in terms of the past month, it may not have counted for that much, but it has, allowed the Swans to go on unbeaten run, and I think that will give them a bit of momentum really going into next season. It's not been, the greatest season for them, but it's kind of understandable considering it's a bit of a transition phase for them. So, having that momentum and him playing a part in that with that unbeaten run, I think will pay dividends going into next season. So again, like Mitrovic, I mean, his goal scoring contributions recently could play a big part for the long term, and for a side that wants to get promotion, perhaps in the next couple of years, that will be absolutely crucial. So I think he's been superb, and at 22, he's destined to play in the Premier League at some point. I think I know that he's been linked with Leicester in recent times. Whether he kind of moves, over the summer, I'm not 100% sure, but I think at some point he will move on, because he's really showing his class, and as I said, he'll only get better.
Absolutely. A phenomenal April, certainly, for Joel Perrault. 7 goals, 2 assists. And if you think he deserves to be named the Football League World Fans Championship Player of the Award for April, then please do click the link in the description or head to that one in the ticker just down there to cast your vote. Well, our final nominee, Adam, comes from the team that I think we're head and shoulders above everyone else in April. 21 points from 8 games for Nottingham Forest, a quite ridiculous return. Sam Surridge, key to that, 6 goals and 1 assist. But I think really what's earned him the place on this list is, Forest, they lose Lewis Grabban, then they lose Keenan Davis, and Surridge is able to just step up to that pressure and keep them scoring and ensure that they don't lose momentum.
I think you're absolutely right, actually, to talk about pressure, because there was a lot of pressure coming kind of on his shoulders, really, coming into the club, and having to, as you say, take on the duties really from Keenan Davis and from Lewis Grabban as well. Obviously, he wasn't one of the first names on the team sheet at Bournemouth. Obviously, I had a bit of a big money move really to Stoke last summer. That didn't work out, and he's come to Forest and had to adapt mid-season. So the fact that he's done that, I think, makes him a deserving man really on this on this list. I know that I think his teammates have to take a lot of credit because of their creativity. I think he could have had even more goals than he's managed to kind of record. But his positioning, I think, has been superb. I think Steve Cooper's had a big impact as well. But as I say, I think the player should take a lot of credit for the factors that I previously mentioned. As I said, positioning has been fantastic, and that's the reason why he's been able to get in amongst the goals so much. He's found himself in the right place at the right times for a lot of it, and obviously, Lewis Grabban and Keenan Davis have been kind of heroes for Forest in the past, and over the next 3 games, that's going to be Surridge's kind of opportunity, and it'll be interesting to see how he copes if either of them, if Davis or Grabban, are not fit in time. But if they do win promotion, it'll be interesting to see how much playing time he gets in the Premier League as well. It'll be interesting to see. But in terms of the short term, I think he can be very pleased with his progress in recent months because it could have easily gone horribly wrong for him, this move, having to adapt mid-season. But he's done very well in adapting to this situation, and he could be a key first teamer at Forest for years to come. If recent performances are anything to go by.
Yeah, as you say, certainly he's got the chance over the next few weeks to sort of write his name into Nottingham Forest folklore. And given the form he showed in April, those 6 goals and the 1 assist, you wouldn't bet against it. Just a final reminder then that the 6 nominees are Huddersfield's Harry Toffolo, Millwall defender Murray Wallace, Bristol City's Andy Vyman, Fulham's Alexandra Mitrovic, Swansea's Joel Perrault, and Nottingham Forest's Sam Surridge. The vote's open now. It runs until 9 a.m. tomorrow with a winner announced later tomorrow morning. To vote, simply click the link in the description or go to footballleagueworld.co.uk/fan-awards. Well, that is everything from myself. But at 2 p.m, make sure you tune in for Under the Microscope show, which will look at the second leg of the second League One semi-final between Sheffield Wednesday and Sunderland with Alfie Burns, Adam and Marcus Ali. And that just leaves me to say thanks, Adam, and thanks everyone for watching.